Hey guys, what's going on? It is Chris here once again. We are looking ahead to today's slate for the 2nd of November. Crazy, it's already November, but yeah, here we are. So I haven't talked to you guys in a couple days. Hope you guys all had a very good Halloween as well. Um, yeah, so if you guys do go on to like the video, leave a like. I definitely do appreciate it. And also hit that subscribe button for more NBA FanDuel lineup advice videos. And yeah, as normal, if you guys want to get in on premium, only $8 a day or $30 for the month pass. If you guys want to get in, all you have to do is check us out on our Twitter. And here's our Twitter right there on the top right side. And yeah, we'd love for you guys to come join us. All you need to do is message us. We'll get you guys all set up. So I really didn't get to play it all last night. One of our subs did send this one in, though. Didn't get to play main at all. There's too many injuries, and I didn't have enough time to monitor them. So here we are. We did after hours, scored a 326.4. It was a pretty good score. I think it was like in the top, what, 10% or so. So it was a pretty solid one last night. Russell, Heinlein, Thompson, Monk, James, Herder, Leonard, Sabonis, and Wood. Overall, really solid lineup. I feel like it was a popular lineup, though. I've seen a lot of people have it, but nevertheless, it was definitely a solid W last night. So, like I said, if you guys want to come join us, all you have to do is hit us up on our Twitter. So yeah, definitely come join us. So let's go get into today's slate. We only have a four-game slate today, but still doesn't look too bad. We got a couple injuries as normal because we got Phoenix and New Orleans on it. But like I said, we'll get to those games in a little bit. So first game we're going to be looking at here is Toronto and Philadelphia. I know it's very early, but let's go look at some of the DVPs here for some of these teams here. Let's go look at Philadelphia. Let's go look at their DVP. If you guys don't know what DVP stands for, it means defense by versus position. So it just shows how good the defense is against each position. If they are in the green, that means they really struggle against that position, or steals or whatever, etc. And obviously, if they're in the red, that means they're really good. Their defense is really good in that area, and obviously, if they're in the yellow, that means they're kind of in the middle. So, let's go look at Philadelphia. So it looks like early on they struggle against small forwards and centers. So guys to be looking at is Scotty Barnes and Siakam. Those two guys I like that free throw percentage. Is pretty good to centers at 83.3. Field goal percentage is even at 54, so that's pretty solid as well. So looks like it's relatively easy so far to get inside against Embiid. Kind of interesting, but yeah, guys, I would definitely consider here is Pascal Siakam and obviously Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes, Scotty Barnes, man, my bad. You can also look at OG Anunoby, not too bad at 6,900, but Barnes, like I said, he's up there at 88. But as I just mentioned, and as it shows here, the DVP against the small forward and center is not too great. So I would go with with Pascal Siakam maybe, but also like I said, Scotty Barnes has really good upside and has a little bit more steal upside as well. As you see, this guy's been an absolute beast than he was like 2 years ago. So yeah, he's definitely turned it around. Could be, improved player for sure. Um, but yeah, that's probably one of the guys I'm looking at. Dennis Schroeder's all right, maybe 24, 25. Not really feeling Poidal or anything like that. Let's go look at the Philly side. I mean, not the Toronto side for defense. So yeah, like I said, Barnes and Siakam, but definitely favoring Barnes for sure. So Toronto, they're not too bad of a defense, as you see. The one spot they do struggle against is the center, and obviously we know that Philly has one of the best centers in the entire league right now. So looks like he's almost a given if he does play and does his normal thing. They give up 23 points a game. They're giving up a ton of rebounds to him, a ton of blocks as well. So, like I said, Joel Embiid is probably the best spend up for sure. You should still be able to get Scotty Barnes in there. But 12,000, yeah, it's expensive, but this dude's been popping off. Maxi's all right, but 8-9, I don't know. He's still going to get me about 35, 40, so I'm not really feeling him too much here. So he's still, like I said, he's okay in cash games. But Embiid, I'd probably go Embiid, Barnes, and Siakam for sure as my top three ranked in order. But if it's going by like value, I definitely probably go Barnes and beat Siakam. So, like I said, all those guys are in pretty good spots. Next, we got is Detroit and New Orleans. Haven't looked at the injury news. Let's go look at it real quick. Brandon Ingram's ruled out for Wednesday, so it is a back-to-back for them. So we'll see if he's playing in this one. I could see him playing here. And then we got Jalen Duren as well. He was listed out yesterday. Both these teams are on back-to-backs. So we'll just have to see how they play it. Well, are they going to play, their guys, or are they just going to let them have a couple days rest? So we'll just have to see. And that game is at 8 o'clock Eastern time, so it's slightly after lock. So I would be I'd be surprised if we get word on Ingram. We might get it on Jalen Duren, but Ingram's going to be an interesting one to monitor. All right, let's go look. Let's see here. Let's go look at the Detroit DVP. As you see, they struggle against centers and small forward positions. So Zion, even Valanciunas and some GPPs. If Ingram is out, I could see that happening. And like I said, small forward position as well. So let's say New Orleans does what they do yesterday, and it was just weird lineup. Some of my models were liking Dyson Daniels. I couldn't really take a shot with him, but I guess I should have. He had 22.3, really solid as a value play. So he's okay. I expect him to have more popularity here, especially Hawkins. Hawkins is going to have a ton if he does start once again. Definitely killed it the last couple nights, as you see, 28 and a 28. So if Ingram's out again, Jordan Hawkins is in a pretty good spot here. Looking at that Detroit side, I mean, there's some half decent plays here. You got Azar Thompson at only 6,700. He's been another guy that's been really solid as well at 6'7". I think he's a steal, especially if Jalen Duren is out. And then, you can look at Marvin Bagley as well. Isaiah Stewart, he's been stepping up. I think we see, yeah, he's been stepping up as well. So, like I said, those guys are in good spots and solid value as well. Only if Jalen Duren's out. Like I said, Val, I don't mind looking at Val in GPPs. I know he doesn't play a ton of minutes, but this dude, he's pretty good. I just wish they played him more. That's the only thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is pretty solid. A lot of these guys are very cheap as well. Like Zion's, hasn't been great, but he's in a good spot. Had a good one last night. Same thing with like Herbert Jones. He hasn't been the greatest, but another guy that you can maybe look at. I've seen that Matt Ryan's been playing a little more. See if he's really, yeah, he hasn't done a lot, but if you're just doing some straight MME, multi-mass enter, then you could probably put him in there maybe in one, two. So, but yeah, overall, I mean, this is definitely going to be a game I'm going to be targeting. You got Kate Cunningham once again. You got CJ McCollum, even Killian Hayes at 5-2. I think this should just be a pretty good game overall here. So, probably going to have probably 2 to 3 guys from that one. Like I said, depending on what's going on with the injuries over there. All right, moving on. We have Orlando and Utah in this one. Let's go see here. We have a 221 in Orlando by one. So I was actually looking at it, and Orlando's defense is actually a lot better than I was expecting. If you guys remember in the past, Orlando was just usually not that great. But it's early, but they don't have any greens, overall on their position. So well, I don't know, man. They got a better team. But I do expect this one to be a little bit better, a little bit faster. Orlando has been playing a little bit faster since they've been on the West Coast. And once again, you got Utah, and Utah plays pretty quick. So, I mean, I don't mind looking at Marquez Fultz, Cole Anthony again. Utah side, you can look at Marketing. Taylor Horton's okay, but like I said, it's not the greatest matchup on paper for these dudes. But you can look at him. You got John Collins as well at only 6,200. He's been doing pretty solid. Every time I picked this guy in the past, he just sucked really hard. But that was with Atlanta. I haven't picked him yet with Utah, but it looks like he's doing a little bit better with his shooting. So the big thing about him was his foul trouble. Always was just terrible. We got Laurie Marketing here at 8,600. He's I don't know. I think he'll get you about 38 to 42 in this one, so he's okay, but I just don't see a massive upside because, like I said, he's facing Orlando, a slower team, so I'm not really too into that side on Utah. So, like I said, a couple plays are okay. Let's go look at the Utah defense, and they're actually struggling a little bit. Small forward, power forward, in the center position. So, once again, there's a couple spots to be looking at here. You got Wendell Carter at 6,000. He hasn't really been playing that great, but like I said, he's in a very solid spot here. Big thing about Wendell Carter, if you guys remember in the past, he was always like this. This is kind of where he was, maybe a couple more points. But he was a really good defensive player last year, and this so far he's only had one block in 4 games. So that's kind of weird to me because usually Wendell Carter had like 2 to 3 blocks a game. So if he gets his blocks in, he's going to get you about 28 to 30, maybe 32. So I think he's good in some GPP tournaments. Looking over here at the power forward position, you got Paulo Banchero. Like I said, small forward, power forward. And yeah, another spot that they Utah definitely struggle. So he's obviously he's really relying on his shooting. Gets a couple rebounds here and there, but like I said, overall more of a shooter. Been getting a couple steals recently, but like I said, if he hasn't had these steals, really hasn't been shooting that, been doing that good fantasy wise. So He's one of those guys. I wouldn't have a ton of him, but I would definitely have a couple shares of him just in case he does go off on you. Wagner's all right if you want to go that way at 60, at 65. Cole Anthony, like I said, he's been looking good. Jalen Suggs, another guy that's just, maybe he's found his way. He's been looking a lot better, more of a cash game at only $5,100. So another guy that you can look at 5-1. I think he's in a good spot. And then, you got Jordan Clarkson over here as well. He's not looking bad, but like I said, mostly a pure shooter. So do what you want with that. Marcus Fultz probably about 28 to 30 in this one. So last game of the night, we got San Antonio taking on Phoenix. Once again, Booker is questionable in this game. I personally wouldn't be surprised if he plays. We have an 8 spread, so that tells me that Beal may play in this game. So if he does play, like I said, it definitely changes up the value, what's going on. And I also think Booker is in a pretty good spot if he's not on limit restriction. I wouldn't mind taking a flyer with him and some GPPs. Let's go look at that San Antonio defense to see what Phoenix is going to be taking on. And as you see overall, they're not bad. They're kind of in the middle. They're not bad against shooting guard and power forward. They're getting a lot better, but center and point guards is definitely where they struggle and kind of middle of the road against small forwards. So yeah, once again, you got Durant and Booker. If Booker does play, Durant's not a must-have, but still in a very good spot. So you're gonna want both those guys. If Booker's out again, Jurusov Nurkic is another guy you can look at. Eric Gordon, another guy. Grayson Allen, like I said, keep feeding these guys for sure. Jordan Goodwin is the only one I would be a little cautious about at 4.8. He only saw 14 minutes against San Antonio, so that's kind of weird to me. I did check if he was in foul trouble or anything, but it just kind of stings. And then Drew Eubanks, another guy at 4.6. I think he's all right. He's had 27, 26 in only 17 minutes, so it's a little risky because he doesn't play a ton, but I think he's in a solid spot for you guys to take some shots on him. And last but not least, let's go look at the Phoenix defense. Um, there we are, PHO. All right, so as you see, overall, they're not a bad defense at all. Shooting guard, they're pretty good against. So they have pretty solid defense. They struggle against power forward position. So if you want to, you can look at Victor if you want to. He's he's kind of been all over the place, right? He's had a couple good games and a couple not great games, as you see. The only thing about him, he's not really playing massive minutes, so that definitely lowers him. And as you see, he's massive on the blocks. So if this dude doesn't get his blocks, he's only going to be getting you about 28 to 30, and he has massive turnover issues. So that hurts as well. So Victor's okay. I'll have to see the ownership. If his ownership is low, I'll probably take him a couple, GPPs. Other guys to be looking at, you got Keldon Johnson as well at 7,200. Not really too into these San Antonio guys, but I mean they're okay options if you want to go that way. Zach Collins is all right as well. So let's go over here to the and see what we can do for you guys. I'm gonna lock in, like I said, Joel Embiid's probably gonna be like a lock for me. If Durant, like I said, if Booker's out, you can look at Durant, but Joel Embiid just does so much more rebounds, assists, and blocks. Durant's definitely more of a straight scorer. Like I said, I'm gonna see if I can get Scotty Barnes in here. I think there's enough value in there to get him in here. Like, so you got Marquez Fultz. I don't mind a couple of these Orlando guys. Like I said, they are stepping up. Fultz had a bad one against the Clippers, but like I said, he's still playing solid minutes. So you can definitely look into him. Like I said, Fultz, Suggs, and Cole Anthony are kind of guys that to be looking at in that mid-range price to save a little bit of salary. We'll just put him in there. Um, and as you see there, that gives you 5,600 left to go get a couple guys. Like I said, Detroit, New Orleans has some pretty solid options. As I said, you got Daniels and GPPs, you got Hawkins and cash games. Um, Even Jaden Ivey. I mean, if Alec Burks is out for some reason, I could see Ivy getting a couple more minutes and stepping up for you. At 48, like I said, he hasn't been playing ton of minutes, but another guy to look at 4,800, especially if Alec Burks is out. But as I said, Jordan Hawkins will probably be at least 60% owned on this slate, just because, like I said, if Ingram is out. So, like I said, I think you're able to probably squeeze in 2 stars, maybe 3, just depending on what's going on with the value over there. So, yeah, just keep an eye on Detroit and New Orleans and obviously on Phoenix. But like I said, as of now, it's an 8 spread, so I would expect Devin Booker to play. But like I said, just keep in mind, see what's going on. So, all right, guys. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully, you enjoyed the video. If you want to get in on premium, like I said, $8 per day or $30 for a day pass. To get in on that, like I said, just check out our Twitter, which is right there, Chris Anthony NBA One, and we'll get you guys all set up. So once again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and yeah, hopefully you guys win some money tonight. We'll see you guys a little bit later.